7 things your higher self wants you to know. So I'm going to be playing your higher self today. So this is your higher self speaking, just disguised as a person. If you're new here, my name is Beau, and I help people create a life they love from the inside out. So let's talk about your higher self and what it's trying to tell you, and what your higher self even is, maybe, if you're unsure of that. I was thinking the other day about how a lot of the problems and challenges that we face as humans result from the fact that we are multifaceted beings. We are triune, is that the word? Triune beings? We're 3 parts. We're body, mind, and spirit. We have a body, we have a mind, and we are a spirit. But oftentimes, these 3 parts of ourselves want different things. For example, your body might want pleasure, and your body can become addicted chemically to certain things that are not actually good for you. Food, sugar, drugs, alcohol. Your body can become addicted to things and seek pleasure, even though that is not what is good for you in the long term. And your mind can also want something different. Your body might be addicted to something, but your mind might want to be free of that addiction. Your mind might want success in life and long-term success, but your body just wants short-term pleasure and gratification. And then your spirit wants peace of mind. It wants to be free, right? So we have these 3 parts of ourselves that want different things, kind of. And that can create a lot of inner conflict in our lives. And so what I've realized over the years is that a peaceful life requires that these 3 things be in complete alignment, meaning your thoughts have to be aligned with what your spirit or your soul or your higher self actually wants for you. And your thoughts have to be, or your actions have to be aligned with your highest desires, your heart's desires, your soul's desires. Your thoughts, actions, and intentions have to be aligned. Otherwise, you're going to be conflicted on the inside, and you're going to feel stress, anxiety, depression, self-doubt, and all these other things. So today I want to give you some messages from your higher self, what your higher self might say to you if it could speak in words. Now, your higher self is not really, it doesn't really speak in words. It usually is more of like a silent intuition. It's like that feeling where you don't know why you know something, but you just know it. Like there's some things in your life that you just know are right for you. There might be a path you've been wanting to take in life, and you know it's right. It feels right at the core of your being, right? There's just those things in life that we know, and we don't really understand why we know, because it's not like a logical thing. It's not like words telling us what to do. It's that silent intuition. But if this silent intuition could speak, this is what it might say to you. If your higher self could speak, this is what it might say to you. So number 1 is just take the first step with total faith, and I will always guide you on what to do next. You see, the first step that we need to take to get wherever we're trying to go in life is always right in front of us. It's always clear. Everyone knows deep down what they need to do to change their life for the better. We all know what that first step is, but what holds people back is they don't see the second step or the third step or beyond that. They only see the first step oftentimes. Oftentimes we don't have clarity about what's going to happen after we take that first step. There's a lot of uncertainty, there's a lot of doubt, there's a lot of fear when we can't see so far ahead. But your higher self would want you to know that it's okay not to know. It's okay not to know what's going to happen next. If you just trust in that deepest intuition and you heed the call of your soul, you might want to say, then you will be guided on what to do next after you take that first step. You take the first step, you might not know the second step until after you take the first step. So one of the things I've been practicing recently in my own life is taking massive imperfect action and just moving forward with trust that the next steps will be shown to me. I often don't know what the next step is or what's going to happen tomorrow or next week. Even though I try to plan these things out, but you never know because as you go along, you learn more and you understand more, and you might make shifts and tweaks in your path, and you might change direction a little bit. But you're not going to be able to anticipate that ahead of time, and trying to do so just fills you with fear and doubt and holds you back and keeps you from ever moving forward and just taking action. So always know that the first step is right in front of you at all times, and there's always that first step that you can take, even if it's just something very small. Just take that step and see what comes. You will be guided. Number 2 is letting go is never a loss unless you resist it. Surrender everything to me, and I will bring you eternal comfort and peace. So your soul or your spirit or your higher self wants peace above all. It wants freedom. And the only way to have peace and freedom is to be unattached to anything, to completely let go of everything. Let go of your expectations for what might happen in the future. Let go of your past. Let go of your attachments, your resistances to life. Let go of everything, and then you will know peace. You can still move forward and take action and do the things you want to do in life, but you do it with the energy of peace instead of always trying to get somewhere, always trying to achieve something, always looking forward to tomorrow or to the weekend or to what's going to happen in the future. When we let go of our future and we just move forward with trust and faith, great things happen, but they happen without effort or stress or striving or struggle. Great things can happen in your life without struggle. You don't have to necessarily struggle in order to achieve things in life. What I've found in my personal experience is that taking action is only difficult if you resist it. Moving forward in life is only difficult if you resist it. Letting go of things in your life, of people, of your past, of your attachments, letting go is only difficult because we resist letting go. We resist life, and that is what makes life feel difficult. It's not that life actually is difficult, it's just that we have so many attachments and resistances that it feels difficult because we're clinging to everything. We're holding on and trying to control things. What if you just let go of your need to control and you just moved through your life with faith, with trust that everything will work out and the results you want and the outcomes you want will happen on their own, and you don't need to force them to happen. You can just move forward, let go, and trust. Number 3, all suffering is my design to bring you back to your peaceful center. Heed the call. See the good in what you call bad. What if everything was here to serve us? What if there was a lesson to learn in every experience, no matter how negative it might seem? I know in my life, some of the worst things that ever happened to me, some of my lowest moments in life, were the greatest teachers, were the things that taught me the most, the things that gave me the most wisdom and made me more humble, made me more grateful, made me more disciplined, more committed. The low things, the low experiences in our life often bring out the best in us. They force us to evolve. They force us to change. And it doesn't always have to be that way. But if you look at all of life as just a never-ending series of opportunities to learn and grow and evolve, then you'll find that everything does have something to teach you, and therefore everything is good. All suffering is just a warning sign. It's just telling you when you're out of alignment with the truth. When you're feeling anxious or depressed, it means you're caught in the past or the future, but you're not living in the present. You're not here and now. So your negative feelings are really blessings because they're showing you exactly when you're out of alignment. so that you can come back into alignment, come back to your peaceful center. All negative events and circumstances in your life that bring negative feelings up within you, those things are just showing you where you're still attached to things, where you're still resisting things, where you're still not accepting reality, where you're still not letting go. It's showing you when you're out of alignment, when you have strayed from your peaceful center, when you have gotten caught up in your mind, caught up in attachments to the past or the future. So all of life is always showing you exactly what you need to do next, what you need to let go of next in order to come back to a place of peace. So when you look at life in that way, then everything serves you. Everything is teaching you something. Life is a never-ending series of lessons to learn, and the more lessons you learn, the more tests you passed, you might say, the wiser you become, the more peaceful you become, the more loving you become, the more of your true self you become. Number 4, forgive everyone no matter what, including yourself. Everyone is doing the best they can from their current level of understanding. Therefore, seek understanding above all else. The more you understand in life, the less you judge. Because when you understand other people, when you understand yourself, you have compassion for yourself and you have compassion for others. And the reason everyone deserves your forgiveness is because everyone is doing the best they can in this exact moment of now. You see, we often create these hypothetical situations in our mind and say that this person should be different than they are, or I should be different than I am right now. And we judge people because they're not different, because they're not more like us, because they don't value the same things as we do. But we have to see that people can change, but change requires time, if only 1 second. It might take you 1 second to change. It might take you 10 years. But regardless, change takes time. It takes a past and a future, because that's what change is. It's a difference from one moment in time to another, right? But time is an illusion, really. It doesn't exist. Past and future are just ideas, concepts in our mind. Time is a mental construct. It's not a real thing. The reality of life is that we only have a present moment to deal with. Past and future aren't here. We only have now. So in this exact moment of now, this split second, everyone is being exactly what they can be. Everyone is doing the best they can in this moment of now. In the next moment of now, they might be different. They might change. We can't guarantee that. We can't control that. But they might change. We might change. So it's this comparison with our ideal self, or with what we think others should be in the future, or what they did in the past. It's this past and future focus that creates all of our judgment of others, our judgment of ourselves, because we create these imaginary ideals in our mind of what life should be, what we should be, and then we compare what we believe the reality is to that ideal in our mind, and then we see the difference, we see the gap, and then we judge. And that brings us suffering and guilt and shame and these negative emotions. But when we live purely in the present moment, we see that everything in this moment is perfect as it is, because it is being all it can be. It is the perfect expression of exactly what it is in this moment. It might be different later. It might have been different in the past. But in this moment, if you don't bring past or future into the equation, if you don't bring those things into your mind, then you see the perfection and beauty of everything. And then you find that everyone deserves your forgiveness. Everyone deserves your love, because everyone is doing the best they can, including yourself. So don't judge yourself. Have compassion. Have love. And that brings us to number 5. Darkness cannot expel darkness. Only light can. Therefore, bring love, not judgment, to everything you seek to change in others or yourself. This is a lesson that I learned a few years ago after a lot of years of struggle trying to change myself. I was really into like personal development and self-help and spiritual growth and things like that for many years, and I still am, but I see it very differently today than I used to. In the past, what I was trying to do is change myself, and so therefore I was judging myself constantly. I was criticizing myself whenever I made a mistake or I had a negative thought or I did a bad habit or something. I would judge myself very harshly and lay a lot of guilt on myself. And I thought that was the way to change. You know, a lot of us assume that the only way to change is to guilt ourselves, make ourselves feel guilty, or the only way to make others change is to make other people feel guilty, lay guilt trips on other people. We think that the only way to change is through negative motivation, through fear, through guilt. And what this does is it just reinforces the negative patterns. It reinforces the negative energy because you're using negative energy to try to change something that you perceive as negative. So you're adding negative energy to a negative thing, just reinforcing that negative loop, because negative energy can't wash out negative energy. Only positive energy can wash out negative energy. Only love can wash out judgment and guilt and shame. So if there's something we don't like about ourselves, bring awareness and love to that part of ourselves, not judgment. Love is just a non-judgmental place of awareness where we see what's happening, but we have compassion and understanding for what's happening because we see it clearly. We see, again, that everyone is doing the best they can, therefore everyone is deserving of love. And that love starts to dissolve the negative patterns. And therefore, we don't make the same mistakes over and over again because we're not motivated by the same negative energy. When you don't have that same negative energy within you because you've dissolved it with love and compassion and understanding, then that negative energy can't produce those same negative effects in your life. So the fastest way to change your life is not to guilt yourself into it, it's to love yourself into it. Because that love is a positive energy that makes you do positive things, take positive actions, have a positive attitude, and take the right actions in your life. You take very different actions when you're feeling loving and kind and grateful than you do when you're feeling fearful or guilty or ashamed, right? So don't guilt yourself or others into change. Realize that only light can wash out the darkness. Number 6. You are already enough as you are. Surrender all your ideas that say otherwise, and you will realize this truth. You see, our higher self or our true self is like the sun, and the sun is always shining, whether we can see it or not, right? It's shining even when it's dark outside, even when the earth is covering it or clouds are covering the sun. The sun is still there shining. It's never stopped shining for a long, long time, and it will continue to shine for a long, long time. And that's like our higher self. Our higher self or our true self, however you want to think of it, it's always there. It's always waiting for us to come back to it. Peace is always there. Love is always there. These things we want to experience in our life, confidence, gratitude, peace of mind, they are always available to us. It's just all of our ideas and beliefs that say otherwise that act as the clouds that hide the sun from our view. So all our beliefs that say we're not good enough, or we need to be different, or we need to change, or other people need to change, or the world needs to be different than it is, or my life sucks, whatever your beliefs are about life, about yourself, about reality, all of these beliefs that say life is somehow imperfect or something's wrong with life or yourself, these are all the ideas that cover up your true self and prevent you from being at peace. And I realized this a while ago when I was, as I said, I was into personal development and things, and I was really trying to be more confident because I struggled with low self-confidence for most of my life. And in the beginning, I was trying to build myself up and create confidence in myself by pumping myself up and telling myself positive affirmations and good things about myself. And this didn't really work. It was just like a temporary inflation. And I realized after a long time and a lot of struggle that that's not the way to do it. You don't have to force yourself to feel something. You just let go of everything that is in the way, and then that feeling becomes your reality. You let go of all your resistances and insecurities and doubts within yourself. When you let go of those things, then you sort of float up to a higher feeling state. You float up into confidence and peace and joy. It's more about letting go and shedding away the layers than it is about adding anything new to yourself, because your true self is already perfect. It's already at peace. It's already confident. So you don't need to force yourself into those states. Just let go of everything that is not that, and you will then experience that. So when you let go of all your thoughts and feelings that don't bring you confidence, then you will feel confident. So it's really about letting go. It's about shedding away the layers, removing the clouds, so the sun can shine forth. So if you're not really sure how to let go of these feelings, these doubts, remove these clouds, if you're unsure about the process, then make sure you check the description and join my Rise Method Masterclass, because in that video training, I teach you a specific 4-part process that will help you start to remove any internal obstacles, fears, doubts, insecurities that are in the way of you experiencing more confidence and peace of mind in your life. Number 7, in an ever-changing world, come to rely only upon me, the silent, changeless awareness, the witness of everything. So we live in a world that is constantly changing. Everything in your life is changing. Your thoughts are changing. Your feelings are changing. The world is changing. Everything is in a constant state of change. And that is why we suffer when we attach to things, when we resist things or cling to things. We suffer because the world is always changing. Nothing is solid or permanent. Then there's nothing to cling to, because everything we cling to is eventually going to fade away, including our own body. Since life is in this constant state of change, it seems that there's nothing we can really depend on. There's nothing solid that we can really hold on to for a sense of peace or confidence or certainty. But there is one thing that you can rely on, that has never left you, that has never changed at all, and that is your true self, your higher self. You are the same person, the same true self that you were when you were 5 years old. Nothing has changed about your true self. Your ego has changed, your mind has changed, your body has changed, your life has changed, everything in your life has changed, but your spirit or soul or higher self has not changed. You are still the same you that you were 20 years ago. And 20 years from now, you'll still be the same you. It's that silent part within us. Our spirit is what I would call it, or awareness, some people call it, or the witness. The part of you that just sits back and notices everything that is happening, that is aware of everything, but does not judge anything, does not condemn anything, does not have any thoughts about anything. It just witnesses. We all have that silent, peaceful place within us that never changes. Come to rely on that for your peace and nothing else. You can still enjoy the world, enjoy your life and the things that are changing. Just don't cling to any of it and don't depend on any of it for your happiness, for your peace. The only thing you can truly depend on is your higher self, because it will never leave you, it will always be there to guide you, and it will be an everlasting source of peace and positive feelings in your life. So those are the 7 things that your higher self wants to tell you. I hope you found this uplifting, inspiring in some way. If you did, make sure to like, subscribe, or share if you think someone else can benefit from this. And if you have any questions, just leave them below in the comment section, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.